Check tcgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your first purchase with TCG Center 5 code. You can also trade your Pokemon bulk for a new Sun.
How's it going, guys? Once again, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at the deck for the standard format, and in today's video, I'm gonna play with Mega Gardevoir-EX. So I decided to tweak a little bit my old Mega Gardevoir deck. So I'm gonna play with 2 copies of a Brilliant Arrow Mega Gardevoir and with 1 copy of Desperate Mega Gardevoir. Why is it important to have at least 1 copy of Desperate, and why, in my opinion, is maybe better to play with the Brilliant Arrow one? Well, simply because with the Brilliant Arrow I can one-hit knock out any Pokemon as long as I have enough energies in play. And on the other side, with Desperate Mega Gardevoir, I can simply strike for 110 plus 10 more for each Pokemon that I decide to discard from my bench. Mega Gardevoir Desperate is pretty good because it can simply help me to discard my Hoopas and Shaymins once I manage to set up, which is just amazing. On the other side, I also decide to include 2 copies of Weakness Policies, simply because with Weakness Policy, I'm probably gonna lose 1/3 Mega Evolving my Gardevoir into Mega Gardevoir, but if I'm gonna play against metal decks, at least I can prevent them from being able to one-hit knock my Mega Gardevoirs, which is very important. On the other side, if I play against Mega Caesar can strike me for 120, 240 if I don't have Weakness Policy. But if I have Weakness Policy, he can go just for 120, and with the Pokemon Center Lady, I can heal 6 damage counters from my Mega Gardevoir, which means that I will have maybe access for the one-hit knockout against his Mega Caesar, and next turn he's not going to be able to one-hit knockout with his Mega Caesar again my Mega Gardevoir, which is just amazing. 15 Pokemon, 34 trading cards, and 11 energies in total. So running 3 line of the Gardevoir Mega Gardevoir, 4 copies of Geomancy Xerneas, and 2 copies of Xerneas Break, of course, with the live stream. Also very good attack. It can go for 240 max because I'm running 11 energies in the Professor Kukui. 1 copy of Hoopa-EX for the setup, of course, 2 copies of Shaymin also included for the setup. Speaking about the item cards, I'm running 1 copy of Escape Rope, always good to have, you never know when you can need it. 2 copies of Mega Turbo, simply because I can attach basic energy from my discard pile to one of my Mega Evolution Pokemons. I'm not running Max Elixirs, that's because I'm running 4 copies of Geomancy Xerneas, and I would love to basically use at least 1 or 2 turns with that Geomancy, so I can power up my Gardevoirs. In my opinion, much better in this situation than Max Elixirs, but of course with the Max Elixirs you can have that extra energy acceleration. 1 copy of Super Rod, 3 copies of Trainers Mails featuring 4 Ultra Balls and 4 V-Seekers. Of course, Stadium Decision was pretty obvious, a Fairy Garden, simply because I can have for a treat if I have Fairy Energy attached to my Pokemon in play. No doubt about Stadium Decision. Pearl City really not needed, simply because of the Desperate Mega Gardevoir. Supporter line is a little bit long, so I'm running 1 copy of Hex Maniac, same as 1 copy of Lillie. Lillie is a good one. I don't prefer that much Lillie, that's the reason why I'm only running one of Lillie in my deck. But Lillie can be good if you can find in turn 1. If you don't find in turn 1 and you have some valuable resources that you don't want to play in, you can always draw cards until you have 6, so Lillie's gonna be like Bianca if you don't have it on your turn 1 in hand. 1 copy of Lysandre, 2 copies of M. Also running 4 copies of Professor Sycamore for the draw support. Center Lady that I mentioned earlier for heal 60 damage, very important. I can also remove special conditions, which is very important because some decks might also cause some problems with that special condition, like a sleep, paralyzed, poison. Pokemon Ranger ×1, simply because we really want to have Pokemon Ranger versus maybe Glacians, or maybe Regice. But on the other side, it's not that necessary to have it as long as we have Xerneas and Xerneas Break. Regice can be knocked out with the Xerneas Break. On the other side, Glacian can be knocked out striking twice with Xerneas, but still, I prefer to have Pokemon Ranger just in case if I'm gonna need it. 1 copy of Professor Kukui for extra 20 damage, 3 Gardevoir Spiritlings, 2 Weakness Policies, so I can prevent actually my opponent from being able to use that advantage with weakness, and 11 basic energies in total. So overall, I really like the deck. I think it's pretty balanced, and that Weakness Policy also gave it something unique. So you should definitely try that, especially against Mega Scissors, to see how good Weakness Policy is actually gonna be. If you're looking for any of these cards, of course, you can find them on tcgcastle.com. TCG Center 5 code will also provide you with 5% discount on your first purchase. If you're looking also to trade your old bulk for the Sun and Moon Guardian Raising sealed booster box, you can also do that. All instructions can be found in my video description, so you should definitely check that out. So let's do some game tests and see this deck in action. So guys, see you in the game. Alright, so I'm gonna start this game first. Managed to start with Xerneas, which is pretty cool opening Pokemon, definitely. One new is on the other side, so let's first play one copy of Ultra Ball for Lysandre and one Fairy Energy. I'm gonna get myself Hoopa. Let's see how many Mega Turbos. I have 2 Mega Turbos, I have 9 energies in this pile, which is great. So I'm planning to set up my Hoopa for 2 Gardevoirs and 1 Shaymin. 2 Gardevoirs and 1 Shaymin. So I can even discard my energy from hands to have better setup with that Shaymin. Which might be or might not be a good option, but I'm gonna get myself 1 more Xerneas on the bench. Since my second Shaymin is priced, I don't see a reason why I wouldn't do that. So that's gonna be 1 set for 5. I hope I'm gonna find a couple of Spiritlings. Only 1 actually. Alright, so Trainers Mail for the Super Rod. Not really good. Also, what is also not really good, the fact that I'm gonna discard 1 more energy from my hand and that Mega Turbo. So it really was a top deck. Oh gosh, look at the rest of the cards in my hand. Another V-Seeker and Professor Sycamore, no sign of the end. I think I'm probably just gonna maybe stuck with attaching energy from hand and going with the Geomancy, but since I have 3 energies in my disco pile, 3 in my hand and 1 attached to my Xerneas, I have only 4 energies available in total. So there is Fighting Fury Belt and Double Core's energy and 1 Bridget. So my opponent right now can set up 3 basic Pokemons on his bench. So let's take the look. It might be 3 copies of Passimian, might not, we shall see. So you can copy attacks from your basic Pokemons in play. Or on the other side, you can simply use the Encounter, insert your deck for a Pokemon reveal and put in your hand. And after that you need to shuffle your deck. But basically, if there's a Double Core's energy and Bridget, it might be 3 Passimians, it might not be 3 Passimians. There's might something else. Oh, okay, so Mewtwo, Tauros GX, and 1 Eevee. Alright, interesting. So he can copy that Horn attack for like a 70, which is enormous amount of the damage. Luckily I have that Central Lady, and to be honest I'm gonna definitely use the Central Lady this turn on my Xerneas in the active position. And I'm gonna use my Geomancy. I'm gonna attach 2 more energies to my Gardevoirs. Okay, for the next turn, I think I can use 1 more time my Pokemon Center Lady. Or even better, I can maybe just use the V-Seeker for Lysandre, but I think I'm gonna continue using my V-Seeker for Center Lady and healing my Xerneas until I manage to set all energies from my hand to my Pokemons in play, so I can have that secured 1-hit knockout versus his Tauros. So there's 1 Espeon, which is also gonna be interesting to play against, simply because of the fact that he can attack with the Psybeam. But on the other side, with my Desperate Mega Gardevoir, I can 1-hit knock out his Espeon without too many problems. And of course with 1-hit knockout, which is the most important. So there's 1 Steven. With the Steven you can search your deck for a supporter card and basic energy card and put in your hand. Not bad, to be honest. Definitely not bad. And a very interesting fact about Bridget is the fact that you can simply set 3 GX Pokemon on your bench with a Bridget. That's the most interesting thing about it. Okay, so he decided to grab one Psychic Energy and a Lysandre, which means that he's probably gonna copy his DY GX for next turn, maybe? So I'm definitely gonna need, maybe for this turn, start apply some pressure. So let's go with one Professor Sycamore for 7. If I can find maybe Gardevoir Spirit Link, of course, Fairy Garden, but I'm looking for Super Rod and Escape Rope. None of these two cards actually good, but I'm gonna use that Super Rod simply because the Super Rod, I'm gonna get 3 energies back into my deck so I can have some time basically to use the Geomancy. And some energies are gonna be attached first to my Hoopa and second to my Mega Gardevoir. I know probably my Hoopa is gonna be maybe knocked out with a Psychic next turn if he decides to attach Psychic Energy to his Mew. But for me, that's actually good because he's gonna lose his resources. So that's the reason why I actually decide to attach energy to my Hoopa, simply because he can knock him out, he can draw 2 prize cards, not a big deal for me, especially because I'm gonna knock out his Mew with 3 energies next turn with my Desperate Mega Gardevoir. Because I'm going to have 6 energies in play, which is going to be 180, more than enough for the one-hit knockout. After that, 1 more energy will help me to go for 210, and I actually have 1 more energy in my hand. And still, I can have some energies in my disco pile available for 1 remaining Mega Turbo. He decided to actually attach Psychic Energy to his Espeon GX, and that's going to be 1 Lysandre to my Mega Gardevoir. Alright. So the question is what type of the attack he's gonna use. Well, he can use maybe Psychic, which can be like 20 plus 60 or 90 in total because of the Fighting Fury Belt. And turn after that he can actually knocks me out with his Espeon. So I kinda like that, to be honest. I'm gonna use my M. Gonna get 2 Mega Gardevoirs. First I'm gonna play Escape Rope and see what Pokemon my opponent will promote in the active spot. I have 4 retreats, so I don't have to worry too much. I have 2 different Mega Gardevoirs in my hand available. So I also have 7 energies right now and 1 Mega Turbo, which can give me 1 more extra energy card. He decided to promote his Mewtwo. Okay, since he decided to go with that kind of with that type of a strategy, I'm gonna Mega Evolve. I'm gonna use my Mega Turbo, which will add 1 more energy to my Mega Gardevoir, and I can simply go for the 1-hit knock with my Brilliant Arrow, which is gonna be 270. That's just ridiculous amount of the damage. 270. And there is 1 more Gardevoir for me. All right, so next turn, or actually this turn. He can strike into Psychic for like 3 energies and 60. That's like 140, 150. But still, 150 is a decent damage. But I can simply 1-hit knock out his Mega Gardevoir, so that's literally all he can do right now. I'm definitely gonna retreat my Mega Gardevoir to my another Mega Gardevoir at 90 HP with 90 damage counters and 1-hit knock out his Espeon. And before that, I'm probably gonna stick with my Emperor 5. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna stick with Emperor 5. So 150, it's my turn. My top deck is gonna be Professor Sycamore, which I don't like and don't need. I need my Lysandre, of course. So there is also very important, very good card, Xerneas BREAK. Time to retreat to another Mega Gardevoir, and time to use another Brilliant Arrow, this time for 270 again, which will be more than enough for a knockout against my opponent, Espeon GX. So I'm taking a Ultra Ball and a Hex Maniac. Of course, As long as I can go for the one-hit knock with my Brilliant Arrow Mega Gardevoir, Tauros GX is not good at all. The good thing what my opponent can do is to evolve his Eevee into Espeon, and simply with the Espeon he can try to confuse me. But the problem is the fact that I can simply retreat for free as long as I have my Fairy Garden in play. On the other side, he can simply get his... Oh, he decided to go for the Umbreon. Alright. Decided to go for the Umbreon. He just might want to somehow discard tons of energies from my Pokemons in play, of course. He can get rid of 3 of them, knocking out my Mega Gardevoir, and then simply with the... Oh, look at this. Look at this. So he strikes me with the Pearl City, and I just lost 1 energy. Okay, but still I'm fine. Simply because I have that V-Seeker for the Lysandre in my hand, which will allows me to knock out his Umbreon GX on the bench and puts me down to 1 prize, which means that I can't simply lose this game anyway. That's another Horde attack for 70. Of course, good thing is that he can somehow even manage to set double knockout here. So first I'm gonna play my Ultra Ball. It's gonna be for 1 Xerneas and for 1 Hex Maniac. And you can guess what? I'm not looking forward to take anything into my hand. Then I'm gonna play my Lysandre down to his Umbreon GX. And I'm gonna strike him with my Brilliant Arrow for the knockout. 240. I completely forget actually to take second Xerneas break with the Ultra Ball. I could simply do that, but never mind. So I'm down to 1 prize. My opponent still have like 6 prizes remaining. Right now he can knocks me out with that Mew. He can knocks out my Mega Gardevoir with that Mew. But better solution for him would definitely be to somehow play N if he can and use that Tauros GX for the knockout against my Mega Gardevoir. Then I'm gonna lose like 3 energies and I will have only 5 energies in play, which means that I will still need 1 more energy to take in order to somehow knock out his Tauros.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. But if that happens, I will definitely be in a very bad position. I have 1 energy in my discard pile, so that's 60. I'm losing 3 energies, which means right now I can go for like 150, so I'm gonna need that energy card. Will I get energy? We shall see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so let's first go with the Ultra Ball for Sycamore and Gardevoir. Let's grab Xerneas Break. Well, I have 2 energies remaining. I have 2 energy cards remaining and I will still have the Professor Kukui, so I'm definitely going to be able to get that energy. Shaymin will be for 5 and Professor Kukui will be for 2, which means 7 cards in total. So Trainers Mail for nothing, Weakness Policy, Professor Kukui for 2, of course I'm going to get energy card, of course I'm going to get 6 energy in play, and Professor Kukui for Brilliant Arrow or for 200 damage counters in total, which will be enough for the knockout against my opponent Tauros GX. He's gonna take 2 extra cards because of the Lucky Helmet, but unfortunately for him the game is over and the MVP is definitely Desperate Mega Gardevoir, who managed to swipe my opponent's Pokemons without too many problems, so that's the GG. So once again guys, there's the full deck list that I used in this gameplay. I hope you enjoy watching this video, so make sure to hit the thumbs up and like this video if you enjoy watching it. Definitely a lot of potential with the Mega Gardevoir-EX. It's a very cool Pokemon with, I should say, not that cheap attack. It's a little bit expensive attack, but the amount of the damage that you can actually output with the Mega Gardevoir Brilliant Arrow is just insane. I mean, 330 damage counters with 11 energies, and Professor Kukui for extra 20 can be like 350. That's just insane. So stay tuned for more upcoming videos. We'll see you in the next time. So have a nice day and goodbye.